Hello friends and welcome to Gardening with Creekside. Last night our staff had a very late night at production last night, pulling orders and trying just to get things done. We did some potting and all sorts of things. So today, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a tired puppy and we are going to take things a little bit slower today. And sometimes I think that's just the kind of gardening content we need. It doesn't always have to be rush, rush, rush and busy, busy, busy. And today we're going to be in our backyard bed because I want to share with you some easy maintenance tips that carry these mature gardens throughout the time. Just a couple of little edits here and there really make a huge difference. And you know, it's not always about taking things out and planting all the new things. Sometimes the structure is already there. We just have to give it a little bit of love. And so that is what we are going to do today. Here in this backyard bed, I have got some peonies that need to be deadheaded. My forsythias have got to be pruned because they have gotten mammoth, and now is the perfect time to do it. Of course, there's a few weeds here and there that we need to take care of, and some other little small tasks that are just going to make this bed look so much better. Just those a little bit of edits, that little bit of maintenance is going to give this bed a fresh start for the summer after its beautiful spring blooms. So come and join with me on a little bit of a slower paced day here in the backyard. By the way, it is a gorgeous day to be outside. And I personally find when I am tired, sometimes just being outside with the breeze and the blue sky and the birds singing, that's exactly what my body, my soul, and my spirit needs. So let's have some fun in the garden today. I want to set the stage for you so that you understand where we are. Brenna is one smart puppy. She has found the shade, and that is where she is hanging out. But we're going to focus our attention on this island bed here in the back. There's actually two, but we're only going to focus on the larger one here on the right-hand side. We've got beautiful structure in this bed. I do not need to redo this bed. I just need to come in and do some edits. I love that word, that term, talking about the garden. It's not all about ripping things out and, you know, starting fresh and planting a ton of color all at one time. Sometimes you've already done all the hard work and we just need to come in and maintain it. What we're going to do first, because I'm going to do these in little chunks, my friends, the peonies are beautiful, but they are happy. And when we got some rain, I had the blooms that fell over. They are on cages, but I find that the blooms are so tall above the cages that oftentimes the cages don't help with the blooms themselves. So we're going to come in here and deadhead. Now, if I am able to see like this beautiful bloom right here, she's perfectly fine. Y'all, I'm going to make a beautiful bouquet, don't you worry. So we're going to come through first and we're going to clean up the peonies because they just need some help. And then, of course, my Julia Child rose tree, y'all, she has broken free of her her support. So we are going to kind of tie her back up and give her some support. So that's the first piece. Just getting the peonies deadheaded saved a gorgeous bouquet of blooms. They're already in the house. Getting the Julia Child Rose Standard all kind of back in her place makes this corner feel so much neater, so much more intentional, so much more structure, and not visually cluttering up my brain, right? So just going in those a few little things makes a massive difference. Now, two more little tiny little things, little edits that we're going to do. Honestly, it should have been done earlier, but there is grace in gardening, and so I will show you how we're going to fix if you don't prune your perennial grasses when you're supposed to in late winter. I'm here for you. So let's just stop talking about it. Let me show you. I have some Cheyenne Sky grasses right here. And with all your perennial grasses, you want to prune them back in the late winter before they push out new growth. You can see that the grass in the foreground, I did that. The grass in the background, I did not. Don't ask me why I did one and I didn't do the other. But now it's going to be a little bit more challenging to get in there and get that dead foliage out so that it can grow, bloom, and thrive and be absolutely stunning like its sister there in front. Basically, what we're going to do is just take our little snips, go in there, and do our best to clean it up. Now, the biggest thing that is in this garden that is driving me crazy are the Forsythia. These are the show-off yellow bells. That's what we grew up calling them. And I love them. They are gorgeous in the springtime. However, they can be a little bit of a bully in the garden. They are very vigorous, very big, and so it is the time to prune them, because your yellow bells, they bloom on old growth. So if I want my beautiful flowers next year, then I need to prune them now. Also, I need to let this garden breathe. I've got a blueberry bush that it is kind of taking over on one side. It's filled with berries, and I want to make sure that I can take advantage and pick all of those beautiful berries. And then behind there is a summerific lilac crush. First of all, you see all those blueberries? It's going to be delicious. And then back there is the lilac crush. So Jackson got me a fun little gift for Mother's Day. It's an electric pruner, I guess. I don't know what the official name of it is, but I'm going to use that. We're going to use that today because you know what? We're going to work a little smarter, not harder. But with the grass, I do need to go ahead and just clip those with my Felcos. And then one other thing that's kind of driving me crazy is my 3 Let's Dance Skyview hydrangeas underneath the maple. They had a rough winter, and so it is a good time to go ahead and prune back last year's stems, because obviously they are not coming back. I've got all this great new growth down here at the bottom that I am going to leave alone, but the sticks, they're dead. So we just need to go in there and snip them back, clean it up, and it'll make a huge difference. friends, the garden can actually breathe again. Doing just these little bit of edits every now and again in your mature gardens makes a world of difference. And it's just a little bit of extra help that these plants and the gardens need to keep doing, keep blooming, keep growing, keep thriving, doing all of the things that they were intended to do. Sometimes though, like the Forsythia, they get a little extra happy and you really got to go in there and give them a good edit, dare I say, haircut, like we whacked that thing. I started thinking and I was like, did I prune this last year? And based off the evidence of the plants, that would have been a hard no, especially the one that was right here, the second one that I did. Dear heavens, y'all, it was absolutely massive and overtaking everything. But you know what? There is grace in gardening. And even though it was starting to kind of like shadow out my daylily and my ginkgo, there's a ton of growing season ahead of us, and those plants are going to bounce back like they're not even skipped a beat, and they're going to be so happy. Like I could hear those plants singing to me saying, thank you, thank you, thank you. Sunlight, we can breathe, it's great. So, you know, sometimes, just like in life, a severe prune is needed to encourage new growth and development. That's the beautiful thing about mature gardens, y'all. They don't need to be completely redone. They don't have to have a ton of plants added to them. They just have to be simply maintained. And a couple of times a year, you get in there, you do those little edits, and the garden will absolutely reward you with a bountiful supply of colors and textures and butterflies that are having the most fun on the calibrachoas, right? So we come in when the time allows, we go in, we do the edits, we prune back the plants that have already bloomed. We give some love to the plants maybe that are getting ready to go into their season, and just enjoy the space that you have worked so hard in, and enjoy that time in the garden. These little small maintenance garden tasks, they're not flashy, they're not super exciting, but that is what keeps our gardens healthy and thriving year after year. So as always, there is so much grace in gardening. The plants, the gardens, they for sure, they will teach us that time and time again. Even if you don't prune your shrubs when you're supposed to, grace, my friends, absolute grace. Even on the exhausting days when you don't remember what you have filmed and if you turned your camera on. So hopefully Jenny turned her camera on and didn't just walk around the garden holding a camera that wasn't turned on. Just keeping it real for you. As always, thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next video. I think I'm gonna go take a nap. See y'all tomorrow.